Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I have some new releases from ArtDot to share with you. This is their Idyllic Homes collection that just dropped and features some improvements to their square drill grid. And while you don't typically see landscapes here on my channel, when ArtDot reached out to ask if they could send these over for me to share, I took a look and saw how these are some nice smaller size landscapes and some really beautiful artwork that reminds me of the one sole diamond painting that I actually have hanging and displayed in my home, which is incidentally a landscape, and that's really what these pieces reminded me of. So we're going to take a look. If you're not familiar with ArtDot, hopefully this is going to give you a sense for what their company has to offer. Full disclosure, I have not worked on one of their kits yet. It is a top priority for me to do in the month of November so that I can give some real-time feedback of my own experience of working on one of these kits. That said, hopefully this is still going to give you some first impressions and give you a sense for, well, here's the basics, here's the foundation. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these. If you decide to shop on ArtDot's website, I do have a link and a discount code you can use for 10% off. It's just my name, Katie, Katie. And ArtDot is also running a Halloween sale if you're watching while this video, close to when this video is going up. And that I'll have all the details of linked to below as well, so you could take advantage if you want to save a little bit. So let's go ahead and we'll start off with, we're going to go through all of these, of course, but as far as giving you an in-depth look at things like the features on the tubes and the toolkits and stuff, I'll really just go in depth with that on the first kit we look at, and the others we might kind of skim through a bit. So if you're wanting to hear all of those basics and hear me talk about those at more length, stick around for the first kit at least, and then you can skip ahead to if there's specific ones of these you're wanting to see. Now, two of these are by the artist, it's Zaccheo, and that's these two over here. And then these two, this one and this one are John Zaccheo, and this one is Barbara Mock. Oh, three of these are John Zaccheo, actually. I thought it was two and two. Not according to the artist notes at the top, though. So we have a couple of different artists represented here. They all fall under that theme of idyllic homes, though. Let's start with Evening Glow, because that color palette is really jumping out at me at most of the four of these, and we'll just get a really good look at this one, okay? So first and foremost, ArtDot's kits come in these pretty heavy duty tubes that come with a carrying strap on the one end, and they're pretty sturdy. These did also come inside of a white box for some extra structure while it was shipping, and these arrived in better shape than my first delivery from ArtDot did with these tubes. I don't know if it's because there were four in a row or just luck of the draw with my shipping carrier, but absolutely not so much as a tiny crunch to these tubes. So this is pretty travel friendly. I feel like it also has a nice presentation to it. If you were to give it to someone, it almost looks like something you'd see at like a TJ Maxx or Home Goods. Occasionally they'll have diamond paintings, and it just feels like it's got a little bit nicer look and vibe to it. So this is from ArtDot, of course. You guys know that diamond painting kit. Here's a look at the original artwork. And they're calling this an advanced kit, but I have to be honest, 46 by 67 centimeters, that size point, I think that's still pretty beginner friendly or intermediate friendly maybe, though I guess since this has square drills, that kind of makes it a little tougher. Anyway, I don't think you have to restrict yourself from doing this if you don't feel like you're an advanced level of diamond painter. They do put some how-tos on the side here. If you are new to diamond painting, I have some beginner videos, including all the basics like Diamond Painting 101. I have some tutorials on multi-placing and sectioning off your canvas, all kinds of stuff. Take a look in the description box of this video for some of those videos if you want some further reading, further viewing after this to hopefully help diamond painting feel like it's easier to get into and enjoy. They have friendly and hassle-free customer service, and then stress relief, sparkling art, all age-friendly craft, and here's all of your inclusions, which we're going to go over all of this together, of course. And then we have the render wrapped around the top, and then this again is called Evening Glow, by John Zaccheo. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. I have to be honest with you. Before I started this video, I looked at the name of this collection and I turned to my husband and I said, Adam, I'm questioning everything. How do I pronounce this word? It's idyllic, right? And he's like, yeah, that's right. So I was like, it's one of those words that I feel like I've read a lot, not so much said or heard people say. And so I was like, I'm questioning everything. Can I make sure I'm saying this right? All right. Everything's tumbling out here. So first, little thank you note from ArtDot. They have a 1-year warranty. Scan the code for warranty. I don't know if you have to scan this to register it, or if it's like if you've purchased it, if you automatically get that registration for the warranty. But let's see, toolkit and stuff here. Yeah, see, it's not crazy big. Diamonds, we'll look at those in a bit. We're gonna start with the toolkit, which is kind of where I always like to start. And these are some pretty extensive toolkits. Like, they include some things I've never seen a company include with their toolkits before. But you're going to get a pen and wax. Let me just show you real quick, by the way, in case you are newer. The wax has a plastic film on it. You want to make sure that you peel off before you try to load up your pen. If you make this mistake, I did when I first started too. If you go to try to load up your pen and you're like, nothing's happening, there's that thin plastic film there. So you have a pen. It comes with, it looks like a 3-placer on the end and just a basic single tip. They do give you 2 plates of that blue heart wax. They also give you a pair of angled tweezers. I like to include tweezers. They're quite pokey, so do keep that cover on. You get 3 different trays, and this is kind of nice because I believe that they sell these trays like a la carte, basically. So if you wanted to get a bunch of these to kit up into, you could, but this way you get to actually try out their different sizes and just try the trays in general to see if you feel like they're for you. So there's a smaller size tray, and it comes with a sliding lid, and it has like the built-in kind of washi hack ledge that like it can collect drills over here and help with the drills lining up. There's also these kind of multi-placer like bits of drills. I think this would line up like 3 or 4 drills depending on if it's squares or rounds. So this is a smaller size. It is pretty small, but you get 2 of those, and then you also get one of their larger trays. And this is what I'm talking about. I need a big tray that I can just put a whole ton of diamonds in and multi-place. I use a 12-placer, so I want a tray that can fit plenty of diamonds in it. And this one does. So this is much bigger. These also, with like these cutouts, and there's like this little ledge here, they are stackable. So if you get multiples, like the small ones sit really neatly on top of each other, and they even will sit on there too. So, nice feature with the trays. And then out of space off camera here, you're gonna get some release paper. I think it said they include 30 sheets of it. Release paper is safe to put on the glue of your diamond painting, and it basically is like if you just don't like that plastic cover, you can use release paper. This is also handy if you want to create sections on your diamond painting to work within. I like sectioning off my canvases. I usually use washi tape, but I went through a phase where I used release paper, and you can just lay this down and peel it up and be like, okay, this is just the section I'm going to work in today. It's also handy to put down if you want somewhere to like rest your hand that's not in the glue. So yeah, release paper. This is the one that really baffled me a little bit the last time that I opened up an ArtDot kit. They include some sealer, and I've never to this point seen a company include diamond painting sealer with their kits, and I'm fascinated by this. I mentioned this in my last ArtDot video, and I believe that someone commented and mentioned that Diamond Paintings with Laura tested this out when she did an ArtDot kit, so go check her out. She's great. I love her channel. But use sealer when you want to, one, kind of help with keeping the diamonds staying down, really kind of securing them there. Most companies, the glue's good enough, you don't have to worry about this. But the kind of other nice thing about using sealer is it kind of prevents any dust or dirt from getting stuck in any exposed glue. It seals it off so it's dry. There's no like stickiness for that to get stuck in, especially if you're displaying your completed kit. Sealing can be a nice option. So they give you instructions on this. I am hesitant about using just this little, thing to spread it with. This says let it set for 2 hours. I would get like a paintbrush or a foam brush at least to really help with spreading it really evenly. And I wouldn't do this until you actually complete the kit, since this comes in a kind of package where it's like once you open it, there's not like really a good way to reseal it. And I'd assume that it would, set or lose its consistency. But I should test it out and see at some point. Maybe I'll incorporate that into when I actually work on an ArtDot kit. Here we have a set of stickers. I love that they include this because I am going to use these pre-cut sticker labels on my storage containers. We have the symbol on the left-hand side and then the DMC code in the right-hand side. And the DMC code, which they even say here, like DMC, this comes from the DMC brand of floss and cross stitch. Most diamond painting companies use this color code system, and it's helpful to know in case you're like storing your leftover diamonds when you're done with a project. These are going to be the special drills for this kit. We'll look at those and see what those will be. And then this is a look at the original artwork. Drill shape, this one is squares, size, and then the skew. So I'm going to use this in my paper logbook once I actually start working on the kit. So I like that they include that too. Let's look at this canvas. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, one of the things I really love most is that this looks like it's very much been hand charted. There's definitely a human touch in multiple ways to ArtDot's kits. One of them is that they hand chart their kits. When I talk about charting or rendering, what that refers to is how the original artwork is turned into a diamond painting. Some companies will use mostly like a computer software and then just like however it spits it back out, that's how they give it to you as the customer. Some companies will have a human being spend a lot of time tweaking and fixing colors, like adding more clarity and smooth lines, or just generally spending more time looking at it and being deliberate about the choices made. And then some companies do somewhere in between that. And ArtDot seems to do, just my first impressions, just looking at how crisp and clean some of these lines looks very much like there's a lot of hand touch-ups, hand charting, human touch that's been done to this one. There is that. There's also on a related note, is that ArtDot currently has a commitment to having no AI artwork, which if that's something that is important to you, it's something that right now on my channel, I'm really trying to prioritize non-AI artists and non-AI artwork, then you know that if you're purchasing from ArtDot that the kits that you're getting were made by human artists. So just an FYI, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because that is a value of theirs. And so any of the artwork you're seeing today these are non-AI artists. So let's take a look at the features of this kit. Let me give you my first thoughts and impressions. So of course we have branding up here. We have scalloped edges of the canvas, which gives it a nice finished look if you wanted to just display this as is, but on a practical level, helps with fraying, as in hoping fraying not happen. We have a really soft lint, kind of short lint backed canvas. It feels like a nice weight of canvas material in general. And like you saw, this just laid flat on its own. I didn't have to roll it backwards or anything. The tube that it came in protected it really well. There's not a crease or ding or anything to be seen in this. So that's kind of like that's just an added plus to that. We have, a clear plastic cover. I'd say this is probably like a thin plastic cover. And we have really sticky poured glue, actually. And then we have a legend, bottom left, top right, and the thumbnails there as well. And then Evening Glow, rendered by ArtDot. This is licensed artwork, so in this case, this is the artist for this one, has given permission for the use of this artwork by ArtDot and is being compensated for it as well. We have square drills, 47-ish thousand diamonds in this kit, and then the size 67 by 46 centimeters. Now and down here, customer service along with their website. Looking up close, symbol clarity looks excellent. This reminded me of when I looked at their kits about a month ago. I had some kits I unboxed from them. And yeah, the symbol clarity looks really good. Now, something that ArtDot said that they rolled out with this round of new releases is improvements to their square drill grid. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I haven't worked on a kit from them yet. It is a top priority of mine for next month. But apparently, they were getting some feedback from customers and creators that the square drill grids seem to have a lot of gapping. And they've taken that into account, and they've said, starting with this collection, they have made improvements to that. So I will be extremely curious to see how those improvements really do stack up. I hope that it is a noticeable difference, because gapping just is not my idea of a fun time, and it's definitely something that if I had worked on one of their square drill kits, before realizing that they had said this was an issue that they were fixing, like that would have bothered me, and I would have given them that same feedback, like gapping. Can we please fix? I also have good news that they are, at least for one of their other square drill kits so far. I don't know if they're going to be doing this with all of them or how widespread this issue was, but at least for one of their already released square drill kits, I'm blanking on the name of it, had reading in the name. It was a cute witch, like reading books and stuff. They are rolling out an improved version of that kit as well, and that's not out quite yet. I think it's going to be available soon, and I will have one of those to share with you too, as long as something doesn't change between now and then, which, I mean, if it does, you then won't see it. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. And a couple of you guys had mentioned on my last ArtDot unboxing about the gapping issue with the squares. So I will absolutely report back once I work on one of these and can be like, okay, yes, this has improved, or there's still issues that I'm giving feedback to them on, that kind of thing. If you guys beat me to it with these landscapes, if you work on one of these, you'll have to come back and comment here if you want to. Okay, so measurements on this, the dimensions were correct. It looked great. This size point for a landscape, like this is one of the rare sizes I could see myself doing a landscape, because it's not huge. It feels like from so many companies, understandably so, if you get a landscape from them, it's going to be like 70 by 90 centimeters, because there's lots of detail. We need like max size point, but give me something that's more like 46 by 60. Yeah, this is more doable. I'm not going to burn out on working with the greens and the florals and stuff. And this also, I feel like, has a nice variety of colors. The sky is beautiful. There's a good amount of color blocking up there. I like that there are these focal points in the houses that also give something a little bit more interesting to me, subjective here, going on. And yeah, this looks really beautiful. Drills. Let's take a look at these diamonds and see what we think of these square drills, just at least from what we could tell in the bags. Let's see. All right. Color spread. Lots of blues they're jumping out at me here. All right, on the drills themselves. So we have ArtDot, and then this number here, the 3760, that is going to be the DMC code. And then the number 34 right here is going to be the legend number. So 3760 is right here. So that DMC code. And the legend number of 34, it's not on these labels, but it's on the legend here. So 34 right there, 34, 3760. And then this is just, the SKU or the unit number. I am seeing some static in these bags, and that is common when you have resin diamonds. Now, if I'm working with square drills, I really, really have a strong preference for them being made of resin as opposed to acrylic, because resin just tends to put out makes for a better quality diamond. They tend to be more consistent in size and shape. They're not as fussy in the molds and whatnot, and they're less trash prone. When I talk about trash diamonds, I'm talking about diamonds that have tabs sticking off the end or are unusable for, another reason. And resin is just less prone to that kind of thing. But it also means that you're more likely to have static. Now, I'll deal with static if it's resin diamonds, like I said. To get rid of static, my favorite method is to take these diamonds, I'd cut open the package, pour it straight into one big open dryer sheet. Kind of sift the diamonds around on there. That'll help dispel the static. And then I make a little funnel with the dryer sheet and just pour it into whatever storage container I'm using. If you're having trouble getting them out of the bag, so you can either grab a little cut up square of a dryer sheet to tuck in there, or my preferred method is to just kind of pop open the bag a little bit and breathe into the bag lightly with a warm breath like you would use if you were trying to fog up a mirror or a window. That just introduces some moisture and also helps get rid of the static enough that the drills tend to then just slide right out of the bag. First glance looking at these look like they're solid quality. I'm not seeing a bunch of like tabby diamonds or other, unusual issues with these, but like I mentioned with the gapping on the grid issue, that's something you don't always know until you're putting diamonds on the canvas. So do take it with that grain of salt, but I'm at least optimistic about the drill quality, which is nice. So we have our 2 special drills are going to be special drill colors, rather. You have more than just 2 drills. Are going to be 2 shades of yellow ABs. Now, AB stands for Aurora Borealis. These get their name from the Northern Lights. They have an iridescent coating on the top that is really very sparkly and is going to reflect kind of a variety of colors and also grab some of the colors of the drills around them. So we have this really pale yellow color as well as this more like medium toned yellow color. This one's AB 973. This one is AB 445. Let's look at the canvas and see where those 2 special drill colors are going to be. That dark yellow we had a fair amount of as well. So I'm looking for the letter A and that little kind of bow tie symbol. And this is actually pretty easy, you guys. The darker yellow AB is this just big clump of dark yellow. It's not really that dark, but comparatively, this darker yellow color kind of weaving through the sky here, kind of goes around this way a little bit, sprinkled through there, this outline there and right there. It's also this like yellow color in the sky there. It's also in these windows. So there's the darker yellow color on the outside, and then the lighter yellow color on the inside of this window glow is the lighter yellow AB. This is the darker yellow AB. There's that darker yellow AB there and there, as well as there and there. And then the lighter yellow AB we have right next to the dark yellow AB. It's this color. So that sky is just gonna glow. This one's evening glow, so that just is like the sunset, and it really is this yellow glow. It's 2 shades of yellow ABs there, and then the glow in the windows. It just makes perfect sense to me. Like that's about exactly where I would have expected them to put special drills. So that's a look at evening glow. And this looks really pretty, you guys. So far, this is my favorite, but this is also the only one I've looked at closely. So give me just a moment to pack this up, and I'm going to grab another one for us to take a look at. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so next let's take a look at this piece called Coastal Lighthouse. And there's just something about lighthouses that is really peaceful, and I like the imagery of them a lot. So this one's also by Zaccheo and is, like I said, called Coastal Lighthouse, and is also going to have square diamonds. You can get a peek at what the render is going to look like here at the top. We have a lot of similar features, including the strap, the tube that it came in, our directions, customer service info, and everything that's included should be the same. This is also the same size point, 46 by 67 centimeters. I wonder if this is the kind of thing that would be easy to maybe, like if you had a spot you wanted to display completed diamond paintings and this was your aesthetic, you could swap these out easily because they're all the same size. And even within like the same frame, if you used a frame, I like the magnetic hangers that are just really easy to swap things in and out of. Like these just like little wood strips that have magnets that attach to each other and then like a hanging bit. I don't think these would be too big for something like that, but it's just an idea. All right. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm going to kind of skim over some of the features of these since we went through them in a lot of detail on that first kit, but I'll just mention them here at least in passing. So warranty info here, toolkit wise, you're going to get sealer, release paper, basics of a pen, and a couple of plates of the blue heart wax. You're going to get a couple of different tray options, one of the large and 2 of the smaller trays if you want to give those a try. And then some angled tweezers as well. Again, those are pokey, but actually these are like, I want sharp tweezers when I'm working with my diamond painting because I want to be able to, like, if I have to pick something off a canvas or get some putty on the canvas or something, then I can use that to help. Now, here is a look at our original artwork. I am so looking forward to seeing the colors in this sky. I feel like this is going to be the kind of thing that makes a difference for me landscape wise. There's been like one landscape, maybe two, that I really truly loved working on. It was a few years ago, and honestly the color of the sky was what made such a big difference for me. Here's our colors and symbols here. That's an interesting symbol to use. I hope that's going to be clear enough to see on the canvas, but there's our special drills and the canvas itself. Okay, it's so funny because it looks more washed out, like printed on the canvas. I hope that that background color, is that it's an AB actually? Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, that background color is that's gonna be an AB. So we'll see what color AB that's gonna be. I hope that's gonna be more vibrant than it initially appears there. I'm not too spooked about it though, you guys. Honestly, I've worked on plenty of canvases before where the printing, the colors on the canvas is not necessarily a perfect match for the drill colors. And if this is more of an accurate representation of the drill colors, then we're gonna be fine. This is much richer. So if you're like me and just had a brief moment of, I really think we're gonna be fine. Okay, so same features here as far as our canvas material, our plastic cover, and our glue. Yeah, no, that's super sticky. I've got to work with one of these kits. Legend, thumbnail, licensing, and drill count and size is the same. Now let's look up close at our symbol clarity. So this one, that's the one that I originally was like, that's an interesting one. I hope that's going to be clear. It is, you know what? That's a tiny bit hard to read. I kind of wish maybe they had gone with a dark color on the light background like they went with this. That said, what I think I would do, I might give them that feedback. Just as an FYI, I'm looking really carefully over the rest of the canvas. I will say I'm not seeing any other symbols that look very similar to that one in terms of the background color and the light color. Like the closest one is this letter K, and that one is very obviously different. So you could at least be able to easily, like process of elimination, tell the difference. And once you know what that symbol is, you'll be able to match it pretty quickly. The rest of this looks good, in my opinion, as far as symbol clarity goes. And honestly, I'm being a little bit nitpicky pointing out that one, but I know that some people have a lot harder time with seeing symbols on a canvas than I do, and so I want to acknowledge that and point that out. We have more confetti in this house, but this is like, it's like a brick kind of motif and material, so that makes sense. We have a good amount of color blocking in the sky. So this is a nice mix of both. This, again, that kind of thing really makes me more inclined to call this like more of an intermediate canvas as opposed to an advanced one. Just in my own personal opinion, this seems like this is very doable for someone that, even if you're brand new to diamond painting, it's really just one drill at a time. But yeah, that's my impressions anyway. Let's look at these diamonds, see what I already see our special drills, but let me give you a better look at them, all right? Okay, so color palette here, and I think I might give you more of like just kind of a bird's eye view of these colors and not necessarily go through every strand individually, just because I think we're going to be looking at the same thing as far as drill quality and whatnot goes. It's the same deal with these being in DMC order and what's printed on here. So just for sake of ease, I'm not going to go through all of those, but I will show you up close our special drill colors. So we have this really, really pretty light kind of coral AB, like peachy coral. And again, AB diamonds have that iridescent coating on the top. I wonder if they branch out at all into any other special drill types or if it's really just ABs right now. We have two good sized bags. So this is AB 402. And then we have a slightly smaller amount of this kind of grayish blue AB 168. These are really pretty. Definitely like ocean vibe colors of ABs. Let's see where these actually are going to be on the canvas. I mentioned that coral one is going to be this light orange color, that symbol that was a little harder to see. And just for comparison's sake, you can see how much more vibrant this drill color is going to be. compared to the printing on the canvas. So you really are going to get a bit more pop and a lot more shimmer with this particular like special drill type too, with that color. So that's that light orange color that's all throughout the sky, including here and all the way over to here and here. And then that light grayish blue AB. Let me see. That's this light color. Yeah, no glare. This light color at the top of the house. It's also the front of the porch over here. All these light gray lines. And this light gray line going down here, that's our light grayish blue AB. It's this light color on the side of the lighthouse. Some shimmer there. It's this gray color in the ocean. It's the side of the sail on each of the boats. And it's also this light, the lightest color you see in the ocean down here, like in the waves where it's crashing. I really like that special drill placement, actually. I think that's really pretty. I love that color in the ocean. It feels like it suits really well. And using it as a highlighting color, like that's, I feel like, where ABs really shine, I guess pun intended, is when they're placed in places that you're imagining the light reflecting off of or playing off of. And we have the sun where it's literally it's the side of the lighthouse here. It's the sides of the sailboats. It just makes sense to me. I like that a lot. I like that AB placement a lot. So this was Coastal Lighthouse. This was the second of our 4 idyllic homes that we've looked at. I'm going to put this one away and pull out the third one. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Gardener's Haven, and we're going to be checking out this other artist that has pieces in this collection. This artist is Barbara Mock, and this one definitely has a slightly different vibe to the others, and there's a lot more going on. I think we're going to be looking at some more confetti, but also just like other little different things you're going to get to see come to life as you're working on it, which will be really fun. That's something I really enjoy personally. Here's a look at the original artwork. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm excited to see the render. I'm hoping it's going to capture these details. We're still at the same size point, and again, we still have the same features like how-tos and inclusions and the tube and the strap. Again, I'm just glossing over some of this now that we're on the third kit, but lots of details to be had if you were to go back and take a look at the first one that we unboxed together. Let me see. I am happy and impressed with how well these tubes seem to kind of hold everything together, and there's not like bends or folds or creases to the canvas at all. I like that I can just like grab and go with it too. And I would probably repurpose that too. Like once I finished one of these kits, reuse that for travel, just with obviously a canvas that fits in there. But toolkits, we're gonna have the same things here, you guys. We have our trays in different sizes. We have our warranty info. Looks like this one's inside out, no harm done. And toolkit elements, including pen, wax, tweezers, release paper, and sealer, all that good stuff. And drills, of course, we'll look at in a bit. This one it just feels more colorful to me. There's a lot more going on colors wise. Here's our special drills again at the end and that original artwork. Okay, I've got to see. How's this gonna look? Oh my goodness, look at all those flowers. Yeah, there's a lot of flowers in this one, you guys, but also look at the cute, it's like a little duck, the little birdhouse, little gardener's hat. That's really cute. What's that supposed to say? Is this a welcome friends is what it says on the sign. They tried. It's an impression of it. There was no way they were ever going to be able to fit it. I feel like if that, this like bothered you, I would almost just leave out the darker brown and just do the lighter color all over and just let it be a blank sign. But you could do whatever you want with it. Since this has square drills, if you were to want to make any little changes here and there to the rendering, you can pretty safely do so because the square drill is going to cover up that symbol and the background color enough that those other colors aren't going to peek out around it and be like, oh, this color looks wrong, if that makes sense. So same features, the canvas material, the glue, the plastic cover, the legends. This is all my usual stuff that I go over when I'm talking about unboxing kits. Gardener's Haven, rendered by ArtDot, original by Barbara Mock, same size and drill count. Now let's look up close. Y'all, First two kits, there was color blocking. There is so little color blocking to be found in this kit. We are talking about pure confetti. This one scares me the most of all of these. The artwork is really cute. I like that it has more going on. Like this wheelbarrow full of flowers is really pretty. But like the level of confetti, this is going to take you longer. This, you could sell me on calling this like more of an advanced diamond painting kit just because of the level of confetti. But that's what you've got to do when you've got a kit that is artwork as highly detailed as this, that you need that confetti to get that detail, right? Confetti, by the way, is where you have lots of color changes in a small area, basically 90%, 95% of this canvas. So more single placing, changing color out in your tray more often. But look, this is going to be one of our special drill colors. This is color blocked. That sky, again, is our special drill, and color blocking is where you have sometimes blocks of a color in a small area. So you'll have the color in your tray for longer. Grab your multi-placer, though multi-placing ABs is not my favorite thing. It's kind of a pain because it just is, but it's an option. Colors, drills, let's look at these. Let's see. Like I said, this already looks way more colorful than the others so far. Like there's a lot more variety. Yeah, like there's greens, yellows, reds, oranges, blues. There's a lot of colors we got going on here, you guys. I am going to skip to our special drills like I did last time. I see, all right, 2 bags of this white AB 5200. You can see that really rainbowy iridescent coating on the top there. And then we have this kind of aqua blue, this light aqua blue AB 775. For our other special drill color. All right, as far as where these are, let's see. Well, we saw that the white AB is this background color in the sky, color blocked to all heck. So there you go, it's right there. And then actually right next to it is our light blue AB. So they've gone for the special drills in the sky decision, kind of like they've done for the past 2 kits. But you know what I also see? You see this symbol looks like a C and an E or an O and an E that's sprinkled all throughout these flowers. That's actually our white AB as well. And it's sprinkled actually through a lot of these areas of these flowers. So gonna give the flowers a little bit extra sparkle. That white AB I see sprinkled through these flowers. They gave us 2 big bags of it, so that makes sense. A little bit over here, a good amount of it kind of sprinkled in a few spots over here in these flowers. I'm looking to see if they snuck in that blue AB anywhere else. I see the light blue AB up here in this light blue color here and here. It looks like it's just in the sky. I don't see it anywhere else. But that white AB is sprinkled in some of the flowers here. And that's all she wrote. So the blue is just in the sky, the white's in the sky, and then sprinkled in these little white bits in the flowers. So that is Gardener's Haven. And yeah, definitely I feel like the more complex of these 4 kits, unless the 4th one really surprises me, but I don't think it is really. This is definitely, it's different in style, but still fits under that theme of idyllic homes. I think it's really pretty. So anyway, 1 to go. I'm going to put this away. I'll be right back. Last but not least, we have Rocky Cabin View, which is just all things mountains. We've had a nice variety, I feel like, with these 4 kits where we had like beachy lighthouse scene. We've had that really beautiful sunset scene. We had a garden, like just absolute flowers taking over everywhere. And then this one just feels, well, very idyllic, but more of like a mountain scene. This is back to being a piece by John Zaccheo, and it just looks very serene at first glance. So we're going to take a good look at this one again. Same size, of course. And here's a look at the original artwork. I'll get you a better look as we're opening this up though. So let's see how this one's going to look. And then I have to try to decide, like, what would I even say my favorite is of these so far as landscapes go, which, yes, I know I'm actually enjoying taking a look at these, you guys. Who knew? Me and landscapes. Let's see though. Okay, drills. Toolkit elements again. We've got sealer, release paper, toolkit. You guys know, you can recite it back to me at this point, really. Tweezers, trays in multiple colors. I could just like start a whole little tray mountain here with all these. and lifetime warranty. Okay. Oh, this one has more special drills in it. Fewer colors, but more special drills. I am intrigued. Do we save the best for last? Okay, we'll see how this deer is rendered. Some of these other little details, but that's really serene and really pretty. Same deal with DMC codes over here, but yeah, fewer colors compared to the others. But we'll take a look at all of those special drills after we look at this canvas. Oh, that's really pretty. Again, it threw me for a second with the way that the colors of the printing on the canvas look different. But when the drills are down, it's going to be different. Like, this is not going to be a red color. This is going to be a shade of blue. But, like, the printing they went with, and I've seen companies do this before, it actually can help with, like, showing a difference more between two colors and with visibility. But, like, going with a red color symbol, even though that's actually not going to be a red color, it's going to be blue. So it just makes me do a double take, okay? But this is really pretty. I like the way this one looks so far. Same features, canvas, plastic cover. Again, this is just always what I do. These are things I'm always going to make sure I cover when I'm unboxing a kit. We have legends on either side. Rocky Cabin View. John Zaccheo. Same size, same drill count. Let's look up close there. That deer? Okay. That's not bad at all. I feel like when you see little details like that, it really becomes evident, especially actually on the last piece we looked at, the gardener's one. It becomes really evident that this was hand charted, that they absolutely have a rendering artist that is spending time translating this original artwork into diamond painting form to make sure they're capturing those details, that they're really coming through in a way that's going to hopefully do the original artwork justice. This has some color blocking in the sky. I'm guessing we'll have some special drills up here if the pattern holds. But there's also, the sky is a lot of color blocking. You're going to be seeing more confetti when it comes to the trees. And the water's got some line blocking, but yeah, the trees are mostly where you're going to see that confetti, but color blocking in the sky and line blocking in a few areas, including the cabin too. A little smoke going up. Let's look at their special drills and our overall color palette. This is more blues, right? Blue, green, and purple. Yep. Blue, green, and purple. Special drills. We're going to skip right to that again. All right, so let's see. We've got, these are actually two different shades. This is a lighter blue, 3841. I'll show you this way. Light blue AB, and then a slightly darker blue AB. It looks really similar in camera, but this one's just a little bit lighter. The slightly darker one is 3325. And then we have 2 bags of this light taupe AB, 3024. And then a really small bag of this orange AB, AB 743. Placement wise, let me see our symbols for this one. That was the lighter shade, yes, and then the slightly darker shade. Okay, so those 2 blue shades that looked so close to each other, right? The lighter color shade is this color, and then right next to it is the slightly darker shade. I'll show you up close, it'll make a little more sense. So the letter A is a slightly darker color, and the shape is the lighter color. So they're right next to each other, giving us a little bit of shimmer in these mountains. So you're going to see it all throughout these mountains. Again, it's that shape and the letter A are 2 different blue, like light blue colors. It goes through the mountains here. There's the slightly darker blue over there. It's also in the mountains up here as well. Those are those 2 ABs. Is there any? Okay, those are the only spots I see those. Then we had that taupe color. And the taupe one, I was like, there's a bunch of it, but I don't see it. It's in the sky too. But there's a little bit of that taupe AB. It's this little outline, this light outline right there. And this light outline right here. I think that's the side of a boat. I think that's a little canoe right there. And then it's up here in the sky. It's this color. And there's just big, big chunks of it. So you're going to be color blocking that. a bit. There's a little bit of dithering, but like it works for the sky. So it's all throughout the sky itself, like above the mountains. Then last we just had a little bit of that orange AB. It was a really small bag, and that is the glow of the windows. Just a little bit of extra glow and sparkle to those windows. It's actually also this front porch right here, this light color in the front. It's in this window too. There's two of them. 1, 2. And that's it. So yeah, the name of the game with these ArtDot kits really does seem to be the sky is where those special drills, those ABs are going to be found, really primarily in the sky. And then if there's like glows in the windows, like it's going to be there. And then occasionally some other spots like the flowers you saw in the last one. So yeah, that's a look at Rocky Cabin View. And that's 4 of 4 on these kits. So that is the 4 Idyllic homes, the 4 pieces that they have in this new collection, these new releases that have just come out. And the price point for these, I just had it pulled up and I have to go, is it $44.99 or $49.99? $49.99 each. So for the price point for what you're getting, I'm thinking about my first impressions of the quality of the kits, like the canvas, the glue, the resin drills, the hand charting, the licensed artwork that's not AI, the tube that it comes in. I'd say this is pretty comparable to other shops that are out there for this size point and for what they're offering features wise. They do offer a little bit extra compared to other shops in terms of them offering multiple different tray sizes. The fact that they offer sealers is really interesting. The release paper you don't always see with companies. It's a basic pen and wax. Like that's something that's not upgraded, but like that is what it is. And then you get the tweezers. So like it's an all-inclusive toolkit, and there's some nice premium upgrades with some of the toolkit, which is great. The tube is a nice feature. I feel like there's actually not a lot of companies that are doing something like that now. And so that's nice. So for the price point, yeah, I would say it's comparable. I would say it's good. And I think that what helps is getting it on sale in some way. So let me tell you about a couple of different sale options, a couple of different ways you can save, because I am of the mind that I don't want to pay full price for anything. And I know I'm not the only one. So, I have a 10% off code that is 10% off your whole purchase. That's Katie, Katie. And thank you if you use that. I may make a small commission if so. I also, though, want to mention to you a Halloween sale that they're running right now. It started on October 18th, so a few days ago as the time of this filming. And I checked and I didn't see an end date just yet, but I'm sure it says on the website. But the Halloween sale is if you buy 1 canvas, you get 10% off. If you buy 2, you get 15%. If you buy 3, you get 20% off. And if you buy 4 canvases, you get 1 free. So you could take advantage of that if you're seeing a lot that you love. If you want to see some other ArtDot kits from me, I recently unboxed some other pretty new releases from them, and like I said, I have not actually completed a kit from them yet, which I am really making a priority of doing next month because I know how valuable it is to actually get to see a kit completed and hear about someone's experience of working on a kit. So stay tuned for that, and I understand if you want to wait until you're hearing me get to talk about really, how was this to work on and how does this look completed. So I'm gonna take a look at what I have and see which of these I want to start with, and I'll report back. That said, if you want to make sure you don't miss out on further updates from me in that regard, please subscribe. I do post reviews and unboxings from a variety of different companies here in the diamond painting world. I also do weekly whip and chats if you want to have some company while you're crafting on Monday mornings, and other just diamond painting related stuff. And I'd love to have you here on my channel. And the other thing I just wanted to mention, I just remembered to remind you that ArtDot has said that they, as of this release, have rolled out an improved square drill grid that should be tighter, and that we're going to see them roll out like some improved other kits too, like past releases. So stay tuned for that too. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting a look at the new Idyllic Homes collection from ArtDot. Let me know which of these 4 is your favorite down in the comments. I think if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be that first one that we looked at, which was Evening. Hold on, it's right here. It's right here. It was called Evening Glow. I think I just really love the colors and the vibes of this one the most. I think this is my favorite. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you were doing very well and that you have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.